The passing of the torch in the NBA has never been anything that's been nice and has been something that's comfortable. It's always been something that's and has always ripped it from the previous generation. And Anthony Edwards just did that to Kevin Durant and the Phoenix Suns. The Minnesota TimberWolves take down the Phoenix Suns in 4 on their own home court. Devin Booker tried. With all the talk about his elimination game stats, he tried 49 points on 13 of 21 shooting after having a miserable series and looking like he's been getting locked up. He tried, but this isn't about the Phoenix Suns. They have a whole separate video. This Minnesota Timberwolves team has been catching a lot of flack for this past couple of years because people felt that the Rudy Gobert trade really wasn't worth it. Yet this year, they put it all together, and because of Chris Finch's amazing system, the growth of Anthony Edwards, and Cat being fully willing to buy into a new role that seems to fit him best in this offense and this defense, this team was able to be the #1 defense this year and around the top half of the league offense and completely mop the entire Western Conference here in the 3rd seed. I thought they could do this from the beginning of the year. You can check the channel, I got the receipts. But this team has been absolutely amazing this past couple years, but this series has fully let me know that this is the Legion of Boom version of the NBA right now. And I'm just talking about the defensive masterclass put on by Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Anthony Edwards, and Jaden McDaniels in the perimeter. This series is absolutely masterful. And Rudy Gobert finally having perimeter defenders in front of him that could at least stop the ball, contain the ball, and just funnel players to him and not allow paint penetration all the damn time has been amazing. And the Phoenix Suns obviously have some issues they need to work out. We'll talk about that later. But to see this Minnesota Timberwolves team take a team that they struggled with in the regular season, a lot of people thought that had a chance of beating them and completely destroy them the way they did, is just to show just how talented and just how good this team is and just how much of the future Anthony Edwards really has in him. The NBA has had a problem with finding the next star to take over the reins once LeBron used to be the face of the NBA. They thought it was Steph, but then LeBron played long enough that he still kept the mantle even though Steph is still here. And now with LeBron looking like he's very much out the door, to find the next American-born star, because it seems like there's not a chance that you can really promote guys like Jokic or Giannis to be the face of the NBA while they're not American. I know this whole xenophobia thing, but right now it just seems like that's not really going to work for them. So Anthony Edwards looks like he's going to be the one to take that mantle. And from snatching Devin Booker's chain to his starting spot on Team USA and to show that he really is the future right now has been absolutely amazing. And the growth he's shown the past couple years has truly shown just how much potential this man has. From the CTE series versus the Grizzlies that just looked like this Minnesota team just was a lot of talent but wasn't ready for the moment, to trading for Rudy Gobert, having an injury-riddled season, going in the first round against Denver, and I think putting up probably the best or second best fight behind the Miami Heat against that Denver Nuggets team, and showing just how much of a playoff riser he is, to then coming into this year showing the growth he had from game 1, snatching Chet Cameron and Devin Booker's chain, to game 2 when his shot wasn't falling, not forcing it but constantly having effort, keeping up the defensive effort, not letting his shot not falling affect his overall demeanor throughout the entire game, and just played his role and let the offense that was already clicking without him having to get going keep producing what he's doing and still keeping within his role. You normally see young players kind of stray away from that to try to get themselves going, especially after having a game 1 like Ant did. But he just showed the growth he's been able to play within the system and play within his role, even when his shot isn't falling. And Minnesota has enough offensive talent that they can produce that way. And he's just been amazing this entire series. And you can't give him enough praise for what he did. And have a closeout game like he just did, to go band for band with Devin Booker in the second half while he's trying to keep his team's season alive and just letting them know, no, your season ends tonight. It's just absolutely amazing. Plus, that whole DX chop celebration that he did is some of the most disrespectful shit, especially after just putting his foot on their neck that entire game. It's just absolutely hilarious. I love this man and I love this team. And another player that deserves a lot of praise is Karl-Anthony Towns. Cat gets a lot of flack for the past couple years, especially since Jimmy left, when, Minnesota really, after he went down with a meniscus tear and them falling from the 3rd seed to the 8th seed with Cat leading the show. He's been catching a lot of flack for generally not being, I guess, what people expected him to be, especially since he was voted. Ever since the rookie season, people expected him to be the face of the NBA and all these things. But he's fully bought into this role. And a lot of times when you find young players that get pushed out of being the face of a franchise by a new guy, you see them pout and maybe have to pick between one of them. But to see Cat really be in love with Minnesota and wanting to help this franchise win and just taking the role that he's gotten in the past couple years and playing the best he can with it has absolutely been amazing. And people being able to push this whole Cat's not a tough guy, or he acts like he's a tough guy. The man's lost so much family to COVID, constantly meniscus tears or injuries the past couple years that's kept him out and then he drops 20 pounds to be able to play the position that the team needs him to play a little bit better, to be a little more mobile and fit into this defense a lot better. And then he gets injured again to find his way to come back within the same season after tearing a meniscus and to play this well in the playoffs. Cat's one of the most tough motherfuckers in this league, and I love to see that he's able to prove it on the biggest stage. And Rudy Gobert is another guy I want to give a lot of flowers to. The man played absolutely amazing this series. And he's shown that once you give him some reliable perimeter defense, it's over. It's wraps. Like people saw in Utah, all you have to do is get a center that can shoot threes to take him out the paint, and then you just drive past any of the poor perimeter defenders they had, and you get to the paint and thought his defense was just some gimmick. But no, you put some viable perimeter defense around him, and he's in the paint. He can do what he's best at consistently on a night in, night out basis. It's fucking over. And I guess some people feeling like Gobert is very good at defense, but he's not a 4-time defensive player of the year good like he's about to be this season. But the man's absolutely amazing. He deserves all those awards he's gotten, and he's shown this year that he is perfect for this team, and his defense is not some gimmick. The man has absolutely been amazing, and it's nice to see him kill those narratives. You have Jaden McDaniels playing absolutely amazing this series and putting the clamps on Devin Booker and Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal throughout different times in this series. And for games where Anthony Edwards isn't going too well, and to be able to play the defense he did and still be able to be some level of offensive help to the point where he's leading the team in scoring in one of those games, just shows how good this man is. I've had multiple videos about Jaden McDaniels ever since like 2 years ago. I've loved this man since then, and to see him be able to show that on the biggest stage is absolutely amazing, and I love the love he's getting too. But overall, this team has really been amazing. Guys like Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Mike Conley, Naz Reid coming off the bench. And overall, this team's defensive scheme under Chris Finch, who I think deserves some Coach of the Year love. But Mike Daigneault was also great this year, so can't really complain. But overall, this Minnesota team has finally shown that they've arrived. And Minnesota finally has a team to root for ever since KG took them to the conference finals. Just happy to finally see one of the franchises that have been the joke of the NBA to finally get some love and finally get out of that ever revolving door of just mediocrity. But overall, this team has been amazing. Again, the Legion of Boom of the entire NBA. Like, NBA version of the Legion of Boom. This defense is absolutely insane. But overall, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. How far do you think Minnesota can go? I honestly think if Denver continues to play the way that they were playing against the Lakers, Minnesota has a very good chance of upsetting them and making the conference finals. And I do think even if Denver plays even a little bit better, they can give the Denver Nuggets enough trouble that they can beat them. And if that's the case, there's nothing stopping this team from making the NBA Finals. So, with that being said, let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. How good do you think the Minnesota TimberWolves team is? Do you think they have a chance to win a championship this year? But that being said, this is FLB. That's my time, and I'm out.